Hi guys, how you doing? Okay, welcome to week 7. Wow, already. Holy cow, this has flown by, hasn't it? Okay, so I'm gonna talk about a little bit about week 7. What do we got going on week 7? Okay, so let me summarize week 6 first. I think that a lot of students are very well on their way to creating a story, a narrative, and a compelling tale, as it were. And there's still other students that are still kind of thinking about how to do that. And I think that one of the things that we're all starting to understand here, at least the way that I'm seeing it, and one of the most important things about this class is to understand that we're not just taking our logo and placing it on different items and saying, hey, this looks great here. Hey, this looks great here. We're telling a story. And that's really important, guys. It's really important because in a conceptual project like this, it's imperative that we tell a story, we create a relationship, and we create a connection with the audience. And that's the way I want you guys to think. Now, we talk about the fifth element. We talk about supporting graphics, and it's no different than a story. It's no different than a story that you guys read, or a song that you hear, or a movie that you see. And I want to talk a little bit about stories before we get into week 7. But week 6, I still think that, we talked about the discussion with the future. We talked about all these discussions and where they're tying into our storytelling technique, basically is how we're looking at this. Um, so I've only got really, I'm creating this video on Saturday night, and I've only got 7 submissions for critique. So I'm supposing that there's going to be a lot of people submitting tomorrow, and that's great. That's fine. I'm fine with that. But I wouldn't wait till the last minute here, guys. Not during week 7 and during week 8. I get this stuff in, but the quicker you get it in, the quicker I can give you comments, the quicker your classmates can give you comments, and the quicker you can make your adjustments so that you can get it back in by Sunday night and get on to the next part of phase 4, final presentation. Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit about stories and how we tell stories. Now, this has to do with whether you're writing a song, whether you're writing a book, whether you're writing a movie, whether you're creating a video, or in this case, whether it's a visual presentation. It's a story. All stories have what? A beginning, a middle, and an end. We know this, right? But that's not all stories have. All stories have a theme. And this is what we're after. We're after the theme. The beginning, the middle, and the end that's sequencing. And that's important. That's a very important part of any story is sequencing. It keeps your viewer engaged. Okay, but it's not just the beginning, the middle, and the end. There's an underlying theme, and that's what we're after in our Olympic project, and AKA the fifth element, as it were. Okay, so we talk about sequencing as a way to pace a successful narrative, and that's beginning, middle, and end. And it's going to be no different with your presentation. You're going to have to really think about how you're going to present these 4 phases: info, research, concept, design development, and in your final presentation. And I'm looking down here because I've got my 4 phases written down right here in my notebook. But anyways, so we have these 4 phases, and we're going to figure out how to the best assemble these phases into a compelling and successful narrative. We talk about combining attributes, and we want to combine attributes to make a compelling story and an innovative solution. What's an innovative solution? We talked about this in discussion board. We talked about missed opportunities. Why we talk about missed opportunities in a project like this, the reason being is because innovative solutions are met when innovative solutions are achieved when missed opportunities are met. So it's always a very important part of any project to look back at your project with the mindset that I'm done. Okay, what did I miss? I'm another viewer. I'm putting my mind in that of another viewer, and I'm saying, what did I miss here as a designer? And that's identifying missed opportunities, and that's where you can create innovative solutions. We want to create a emotional tie with the viewer. So we don't want the viewer to say, okay, here's the beginning, here's the middle, here's the end. Okay, that was fun. We want the viewer to leave there with a thought, with some sort of connection with the piece. Okay, and that's really important stuff. And I just wanted to give that kind of mini lecture on storytelling and innovative solutions as they are met when we identify our missed opportunities. Okay, I hope that makes sense, guys, because it's a really, really important part of storytelling. All right, so now we're going to move up to week 7, and week 7 we have a week 7 overview, presentation, story building on here. Where is that? Where the heck did it go? It's a really good video. Let me just jump over here, and it's presentation is building a story for a soulful purpose. Let me just pop that open because I want you guys to see this video. It's very, very good. It's kind of long, but this is excellent speaker, Andrew Stanton, and it's fun. It's a fun video too. It makes a lot of sense when we think about how we tell stories and again, missed opportunities, identifying missed opportunities to create compelling stories. So one thing I want to mention about week 7 in our presentation. Here's our discussion board for What's Your Story for week 7. And I'll leave that alone. That's going to be self-explanatory. But in our presentation, so we have our week 7 project for final presentation. And I just want to go over a couple of things real quick here, guys. This is really important. Now, I want you guys to understand, okay, take a look at our examples. And then, of course, over in the announcements, I have 4 examples right there for your inspiration and for some ideas of how to tell stories and how to successfully tell stories, and based on what we've seen in the past and students who have successfully submitted work for this same project. So, we say this right here, our final presentation should be similar to the students' examples. And the reason these student examples are picked is because they're excellent. So, and if you notice, many are over 20 pages long, but they're not boring. It's not just 20 pages of regurgitation. It's 20 pages of compelling information, a story. So I want to make it specifically clear that this is not a design narrative. Okay, so you're not going to show your development of your logo, your different iterations. You're going to show the final of everything. So the first thing you're going to do is phase 1 is your info, research, and data gathering, and you're going to tell a story. Why is this a good location? And base it on all the research that you had done during phase 1 of the project, and also assemble it in a compelling visual story. And I think that this, I know I keep going to this. I'm going to open this up. Excuse me one second. Sorry about that. I was mowing the lawn today. I got some nasty allergies going on. Okay, Santiago. So here we have the story, right? And we have the location. We have all of the phase 1 research information. But note, it's not just thrown together. It's very well integrated into this story. Okay, and there's not too much on each page. You got plenty of white space. It's designed beautifully, and it's telling a compelling story. Economy, general demographics, transportation, infrastructure, and a lot of the stuff goes to exactly what we talked about in the first 2 weeks of class. Okay, and then note how the story continues: the climate, the geographic location, the geographic data, art and architecture, cultural highlights. How does this all fit into the story? Okay, and then we start phase 2, and that's the logo development. Now notice, you're not going into all your iterations of your logo and showing, this is where I started and all these different ideas. No, you're just going to the final logo. You're going to give your reasoning behind the logo, your colors, your types. What the heck just happened? Hang on one sec. Sorry about that. Your type choices, your color choices, and your black and white version and your color versions of your logo. All right. So now we have these other versions of the logo, and these are the I don't know why that keeps doing that, but these are the other 2 versions. Now you can give your final versions of your logo, your 3 finals. Remember, that was part of the concept design where we've narrowed it down to 3. So you're more than welcome to do that. What I don't want you to do is just give, your variations of your different iterations and all your different studies. And that's what we don't want to do. So notice that this is a finalized presentation. There's the third. Then we get into our design development. And this is where you start placing your work in live scenarios, so to speak, and giving a good, compelling reason for doing so and describing what you're doing as well. Pictograms, pictogram placement, tickets, websites, etc., etc. And that's where this goes back into design development and final presentation. Now, we're going to be in final presentation this week, so it should be expected that you guys are well on your way here. So, all right, so you know what? And please, guys, try to get your work posted early. I think it's so important. I think that waiting till Sunday is just, boy, it's late. So, I mean, you know me, I love giving critique. I'll talk about design all day, every day, and I do, and I love it. But I can only do so much. So if you post late, you're not going to have time to assimilate the comments and really be able to incorporate them in your work. Okay. I wanted to give that mini lecture on storytelling, and I just kind of want to draw your attention to the fact that this isn't a design narrative, it's a presentation. So remember, finalized work, okay? If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or other, please let me know. But this is final presentation time, so we really got to start sharpening our chops here and get the pedal to the floor here and start getting the work assembled. All right? Any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in class. Thanks.